Hello and welcome to another video from the fanpub.com. It's Alan Shawn again.
Yeah, nice to be back. And I'm not sure, what are we doing this week now with this video? What is the plan here?
Right, what we're trying to do is we're looking at wide receivers that might be great value for your draft this year.
Excellent. So we looked at running backs, didn't we, the other day?
Yeah, so we've just done a running back one. So if you want to look at running backs, then please check that one out. I'll put a link at the end actually.
And this is the kind of players that could really add value to your squad that you've already picked.
And bear in mind the earliest player on this list, there's only 5 of them, is ADP of 80. So you haven't got to pay a high price.
Yeah, that is no premium at all. That's really good.
All right, the first player I've got is ADP 80. Is Emmanuel Sanders.
Well, we all know about him. And
Emmanuel Sanders is proven. He's a great vet. He's an awesome player. And people forget that because of the horrible quarterback play he's had.
Yeah.
If you watched Keenan last year, you know, he had Diggs, he had Thielen, and they performed really well. So there's 2 really high-performing wide receivers there.
Well, both him and Demaryius Thomas like the new quarterback, Case Keenum, don't they?
Of course they do.
But both aren't him.
Wouldn't you if you'd been thrown to by Brock Osweiler?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, I would. It's a good shout, and he will definitely deliver some good PPR value here.
80
He's being forgotten
in
here.
redraft leagues is far, far too low for Emmanuel Sanders.
Yes, it is.
The second player I'm going for, it's ADP is 96. It's Marquise Goodwin.
Well, you've been a big fan of his for a while, haven't you?
I have. He's so underrated. 49ers are going to be a lot better team.
Yeah,
They've got a quarterback who could well be a breakout talent this year. Jimmy Garoppolo. Some were saying he's top 5 quarterback this year. Whether he is or not, I still think Marquise Goodwin has got a role. If you look at his numbers at the end of last season, he started to put up some big performances. Him and Jimmy G, you know, they had a really good sort of chemistry between them. I know, obviously, you've got Pierre Garçon coming into the mix.
You're paying no premium at 96, are you? I mean,
exactly.
You're getting a great name with Emmanuel Sanders at 80, and at 96, you're not getting a guy who could be arguably being their wide receiver number 1.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, Goodwin, I mean, Garçon missed a lot last season, and Goodwin, you know, really profited from that. So,
and again, depending on his strategy, that's quite a clever play. That's a good player.
He's ADP 96, and he's a very unfashionable player, a bit like Emmanuel Sanders, actually.
Well, my 3, and you see in a moment, are very unfashionable to a large degree.
Okay,
with their PPR values are really through the floor.
Okay, well, let's hear your first one.
Well, another name that people know of, but very disrespected, Alan Hearns. I mean, he's gone to Dallas. He's arguably the wide receiver number 1, and he's sitting there at 133 as of today.
I mean, the thing is, I don't think it's even an argument. He is wide receiver 1.
I mean, even if we assume that it isn't a fantastic year for wide receivers, I mean, would it surprise anybody he gets between 60 and 80 receptions? I mean, that's got to be doable. I mean, that's got to be realistic.
I mean, we're talking about an 11th round player, end of the 11th, 12th round.
What's not to like about that in a Dallas offense with a great line and a great running game, and you are the player they're looking to? I mean, Dak can target and focus in on one wide receiver. Why can't it be Alan Hearns? That's all.
I mean, he is someone that splits opinion. So you can see here he's low of 70, which is
very
probably
high.
Fair.
Probably fair
both
value.
Towards his value, and the lower 259, which is frankly ridiculous.
Yeah, but I have no problem. You know, this is a player. I wouldn't be looking at him to produce high stats. I'd be putting him on my bench. It'd be there to cover, but just in case I've got it right and he breaks out and he has a great year, you've got him ready to go, and that's fantastic value. And if I've got lots of wide running backs, could be very useful. This, so I like that. Yeah,
exactly. So very high upside with him.
My second and my third are both rookies in no particular real order. I'll keep it in the ADP value. 135. We've got DJ Moore, and I'm going to explain why I'm going to put him on the list. So
wide receiver 54. So.
I mean, basically, it's a dart shot. You know, you're late in your draft. You're looking at players with the biggest upside and the lowest floor. I mean, you could argue that rookies have basically no floor because you're not expecting a lot. But what's the upside? Well, he's playing with Cam Newton. He's going to play in the slot. That arguably means he's going to get a lot of targets. It wouldn't surprise me if this guy gets between 60 and 100 targets, of which he probably takes 70 to 80 balls. So, I mean, this suddenly means that this player has huge relevance in PPR. And he's sitting there as a freebie. I don't get that.
Well, you think about it. If he does end up being, their wide receiver 1, you think where Kelvin Benjamin used to go, probably 40 or 50. You know, you're talking about 80 picks higher.
You're absolutely you're making this pick a top 40 pick. You know that you're picking him outside the.
You're picking him 80 places later.
That's amazing value. And my final one is this dart shot that I'm going to keep talking about. Is I just have this. It's a thing. It's a feeling. You go with them sometimes. I just think Miller at 172 is like, you put him on your team at the very end of a draft in a smaller league, and you watch. And if I'm right, you cash in. If I'm wrong, you lost nothing. So actually, there's nothing to lose. That's how good this pick is. I honestly believe that this guy can get separation. I think he's impossible to cover even as a rookie. I just get this feeling that this guy is going to have opportunities to shine day one. And there's a lot to like in this offense with this defense. So,
I mean, when you watch his highlights, I mean, there's eye catching, eye popping. Some of the catches he's making one-handed.
Separation. Like you're looking at in tight coverage for a extra half yard. That's what it needs. You need half a yard and using your body shape. This guy reminds me a lot of DeAndre Hopkins.
He reminds me of Beckham.
I am so high on him for this year. I mean, I am like telling you now, this is where you cash in Dynasty, you take a shot redraft. And you know what? Because it's so low, I mean, look, 172. If it's wrong, it's not like I'm cost you your league.
Yeah,
it's
you haven't lost your fourth round
You
pick.
haven't lost, I'm not cost you anything. It's a shot to nothing. But if I'm right, so if I'm right on this guy and he does do what I think and that lights it up and comes in and does really well, this is a player that you're going to really enjoy putting in your team.
Especially a league that likes a deep roster. That's got a deep roster. You can sit in there, wait to see how he goes. And if he's no good after...
And you know where it could really cash in out on with the players like DJ Moore, the players you've mentioned, where you could really cash in is some leagues offer you keepers, don't they?
Yeah.
And just occasionally, the keeper... There are rules attached with some of these keepers where, depending on what round you get them, is the only round you lose. I mean, this is phenomenal.
For Miller. For Miller and Moore.
Well, you got the chance. You cash
if
in.
you're losing the 10th round pick next year to keep them on your team.
I think you'd
Something
probably
like that.
do that, I think.
Then you're going to have a very exciting player in your hand for
plus
very little
your
value.
high value picks to carry on with it to build.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
the
you've
next
already
year.
built your team. These are people that you can just add to your bench.
So the wide receivers are quite an exciting list, isn't it? I think hopefully people will agree that there's real value to be had here with these players. You've picked some great ones. I mean, Sanders is disrespected. Godwin is the one. My guys, Hearns, DJ Moore and Miller, I'm just excited by them. I know there's a bit of rookie fever in there, but at those values, it's not rookie fever that's too high up the list to worry about.
Yeah, Goodwin, not Godwin.
Yeah, Godwin, sorry,
Godwin could
Goodwin.
be exciting. They've been taught
I
as
do
well
apologise,
from the Bucks, but
it's a classic Connor's mistake
Yeah.
on the pronunciations.
We
We'll
know
let
enough.
it go, I think. We'll let it go. But it's a good list.
But don't you let him go, because 96 is far too good. And he'll drop lower than that because people don't like him. So
Yes, you're
it'll be
absolutely
even
right.
better value.
Yeah, you might be able to sneak him under a bit further down the radar, which is good. Very good list.
Okay. Have you got any players, wide receivers that you love that are hiding down there? A few people have mentioned Randall Cobb. It's split opinion on between me and Sean. I'm
it's
okay
good.
with it. Sean's
Yeah,
not so happy with
it's
it.
Good.
But,
It's good to have that opinion and split. And very
but
important.
these are the debates we like having. I can really see the Cobb argument. I mean,
Could we look at Cobb here? Where is he currently on these rankings?
Well, Cobb will
as
be
of
up
today?
in the 80s, I believe.
Let's have a little look. There he is there, actually, just at the 101. That's
101, so not in the top 100.
See, I mean, you can't argue with 101. I mean, I don't think
Who would you take out of him and Calvin Benjamin?
They've got nobody in Buffalo, so I guess I have to go Kelvin Benjamin. I mean, it literally. I mean, I guess they've got nobody really.
I
so.
suppose Benjamin could do something. I'm not a
But
fan of him.
in all fairness, at 101, I'm not.
Cobb's
It's
on a
not.
high octane nonsense.
It's not like at 10. It's. I can't argue. I
Buffalo,
just think
they can't even see the receivers. There's
if
so
I'm
much
picking,
snow.
if I'm picking today, I can't argue that at 101. But if he does move up, as I think he will, because it's going to become a fancy darling, about 20 places, I would struggle then because I think there are better players.
No, I wouldn't take him in the top 100, but 101 would be.
101's fine. I can live with it. I'm not going to argue with the 101. That's
just
cheap as
interesting,
chips
that's
for the
all.
wide receiver.
Kenny
so.
Stills is another player I love as well at 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 50.
Do you think he's a bit more deep, deep shot kind of
Well, he
catches
is.
a lot of long bombs
Yeah,
kind of thing?
exactly.
But that can win you games, can't it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and it so annoys your opponent.
Oh, it doesn't it just? Yeah.
Kenny Stills is another underrated talent. He plays far above his ADP every year. And, he's only 25, 26.
Yeah, it's nice.
Been around years.
Some nice additional information on the end of this video.
Yeah, so just a couple more to...
Consider.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks
As
very
always,
much for watching. Please
like,
leave
subscribe.
a thumbs up if you like. And
Please ring the bell. Well, next video coming out soon.
Hit the bell.
I like ring the bell. I prefer ring.
If you want to
If
ring
you
the
want to,
bell...
we'll debate that on another video. Ring or hit the bell.
Yeah, so if you want to hear, as soon as the videos come out, if you hit the bell icon, it'll tell you when they're coming out. So
Tell you to stop hitting it and start ringing it. That's what it'll tell
you won't miss it.
Yeah.
I think the bells are ringing for Sean, to be honest. So
Time's up.
thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.